I've been working in SEN for about 10 years. For me, working with autism is more about what it's taught me rather than how I've kind of helped teach students with autism. Like I said, it's a roller coaster. You have to ride those emotions that the students go through, that you go through as well. And I think there's specific examples in my career's experience where you have these preconceived ideas about how you want to proceed with a student, what direction they need to go in, and it's always the case that they absolutely smash my expectations and I have to change with them. And I think it's shown me that I need to be more flexible with my approach, less rigid, and I think that's when you get the most out of working with autism, because you realise that these individuals may have some more challenges than you or me, but actually I think it makes them stronger people for it. The character that some of the students that I've worked with genuinely inspires me, and I think that's why I love it, because I kind of went in for a job and actually found something that made a difference to me, and it's kind of the reverse of what you expect, you know. You go into education because you want to really impact some people's lives and say, I want to help you, let's see where you go. And actually it was the reverse. It's like they made me a better person because they gave me more perspective in my life. And yeah, changed me in profound ways, made me a more patient person that I just didn't expect happening. And that's why I truly love working with kind of autism or SEN in general. You realise that these young people are some of the most inspirational people you will ever work with because of the challenges that they face and because of the perspective they give you. My biggest takeaway from working with autism, you don't necessarily have to have the training that people expect to work in SEN, but you might just be that one person that can connect with this young person and just actually not have, it's more than a working relationship. You build a friendship and a social group that spurs these children on to want to learn. And that's the biggest difference for me. You know, that's what makes an educator a fantastic educator, when they get that. When they get that, education almost comes kind of secondary. It's tertiary, and it's about the relationship that you build with an individual that really counts. That's some of the most profound work that I've seen happen in a school, where you've got this like young Australian person who's come over, who's just up for anything, and they just want to get involved. They want to chat to these kids that they're just kind of in front of for the first time, and they just engage and they connect, and that's what it's about. It's about connecting with people rather than going in and teaching students. They're communicating with you in a way that you didn't expect, and initially you may take that as reserved or, you know, awkward for communication, but then you realise actually it's them reaching out. There's one student that always sticks in my mind. It was you're not supposed to have favourites, but he was my favourite working with because of his sense of humour. And he was stuck in this loop of communication because he really fixated on a modern pop star. Absolutely adored her. He was visually impaired, never seen her, only heard her voice. The way that he put this forward to me is by saying her name over and over again for the case of maybe 4 to 5 years. You can see that from two sides, right? You can see that this student is stuck in a repetitive loop, this verbal loop that he couldn't get out of. Or the flip side is he really has passion for this person and he wants to explore that passion. Do you see what I mean? And I think, you know, for a long time initially, we put things into place to try and kind of subdue that vocabulary, stuff like that. We put interventions in place, and to the point where we realised we shouldn't be doing that. We should be letting him engage with what he wants to engage with, if that brings him passion. So we started to work with this thing. He absolutely adored this pop star, and we started to get him to Braille. So he'd do his English literacy about this individual. He'd write her letters, you know, that kind of stuff. We'd make a joke of it in maths, numeracy. He'd be counting kind of microphones because they were that pop star's microphones. There's no social kind of preconception of them being like, I wonder if that person's judging me, maybe I shouldn't say that. It's all out there. Everything is all out there, and you just have to respect that and deal with that the best that you can when you're in the school, you know. And yeah, it was just going on that journey with him. It was emotional, man. There was some tears. There was some tears for him. I spend quite a lot of my time in my role as an educational consultant speaking to people that use the phrase, I don't have any SEN experience. I didn't have any SEN experience. The school that I worked for many years gave me my first ever shot. I'd never worked in a school, I'd never worked with disability. I didn't really have an awareness of special needs or autism. And it's profoundly changed my life. To the point now that I have such passion for it. My main objective here at Vibe is to challenge people to try new things. Because you don't know if it's going to be for you. You don't need training to interact with a person. You know, I think that's my biggest takeaway. A person with autism is still a person. They've got a different way of looking at things to you. And until you explore the connection that you might have with someone, you're never going to know if you're the one that can work with autism or not. I think that's my biggest takeaway. So I'll always be there challenging people, saying give the day a go. You might face some challenges, you might not. Just give it a go and see what happens there.